My top 10 upcoming games 2018-2019. Number 10, Shimun 3. Shimui 3 is an upcoming action-adventure role-playing video game developed by Nielo and VSNet and published by Deep Silver, scheduled from the release of second half of 2018 for Microsoft Windows and PlayStation 4. It is directed and written and produced by series creator Yu Suzuki and followed teenage martial artist Ryo Hanzo in his quest to find his father killed in 1980 China. Suzuki convinced Shimon as a saga spanning multiple games. The first two games were developed by Sega AM2 and were published by Sega for the Dreamcast in 1999 and 2001 respectively. The original Shimon was most expensive video game ever developed at the time, with an estimated production and market costing of over 47 million USDs. Also covered by some Shinum 2 and groundwork for the future Shimui games. Despite attracting a cult following, the appearance in several greatest video games of all time list, the games were commercially failure and Shimun 3 spent over a decade in developing the hell. Let's come to number 9, Vampire. Vampire is an upcoming action role-playing video game developed by Donut Entertainment and published by Focus Home Interactive for the release of Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in the quarter 1 or quarter 2 of 2018. The plot relates to Jonathan Reed, a doctor who has turned into a vampire, comes to terms with his undead conditions as he is torn between the Hippocratic Oath to his newfound bloodthirst nature. The player is under no obligation to kill to finish the game. The dialogue options can be used for hunting prey to feed on, with triple-niche strength and level up the lead character. Weapons and supernatural abilities are employed while combating enemies. London serves as a fictionalized semi-open world composed for 4 districts, which can be destroyed based on the player's actions. Vampire takes in London during the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic. The setting was researched by traveling to London and the visuals were made with fictional and factual reference point in the mind. The player controls in the game prognostic Jonathan E. Reed, a doctor who was made into a vampire and whose thirst for blood compels him to kill innocent people. To do this successfully, he must gather information about his targets, study their change in habits, collect clues, and maintain certain relationships by communicating with the inhabitants of London, which serves as a fictional semi-open world built by hubs of seamless neighborhoods teetering to the interlinked area. It is possible to finish the game without taking a life, which best preserves the character cover as a doctor but leaves him incapacitated of leveling up. Killing no one unlocks one of the 4 different endings. There is a skill tree up that facilitates improvement of abilities, which is fueled by experience coins gaining from blood and alternative investigation. The branches of the skill tree concerns shadow instinct, social abilities, etc. The game will only be for the PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and it will be releasing in the quarter 1 or quarter 2 of 2018. The graphics are guys, the graphics are so awesome and I am waiting to take this game and buy this game. Number 8, Crackdown 3. Crackdown 3 is an upcoming open world action adventure video game for Microsoft Windows and Xbox One only, with the development being headed by British developers Reagent Games and Sumo Digitals, with the former Real Time Worlds head and series creator Davy Jones being involved in the project, and published by Microsoft Studios. Continuing the series 7 years after the release of 2010 Xbox 360 video game Crackdown 2, the third title focuses on Microsoft Azure powered mass scale destruction that enables everything in the game to be destroyed. Crackdown 3 was set to be released worldwide on 2016, which was changed to 7th November 2017 simultaneously with Xbox One X, but it was delayed on 16th August 2017 to an unspecified spring 2018 date, but it was later removed from the schedule. Largely retained the sandbox elements from the past games, Crackdown 3 will feature destructive environment that can be triggered by players. The game was announced at the Microsoft press conference at the Electronic Arts Entertainment Expo 2014 in June 2014 as the Xbox One exclusive. Once the game was still at an early age, at the time of its release, Microsoft Phil Spencer said that the title came about to talks with J.V. Jones, who, after leaving Real Time Worlds, joined CloudGen, a software company that is developing technology allowing game developers to take advantage of cloud computing features. Cloud Engine has been previously rumored to be a core part of Xbox One software. The game was officially revealed Crackdown 3 during Microsoft Gamescom 2015 press conference on the 4th August 2015. The focus on cloud-powered real-time destruction was first demonstrated there. The Jones stated that Microsoft Cloud computing technology provides 20 times more power than playing the game on single Xbox One console. Because the game's reliance to Microsoft Azure for the destruction engine, the full-scale destruction will only be available in the game online modes, while campaign mode, regardless of number of players, will only access to a limited degree destruction. The game will be releasing in the quarter of 2018. Number 7, The Last Night. The Last Night is an upcoming cinematic platform game being developed by Odd Tales and to be published by Raw Fury. It is expected to be released worldwide sometime in 2018 on Microsoft Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and Xbox One. The Last Night is an 2.5D cinematic platform game where the player controls Charlie, a person living a lower class existence among the rest of the society that is living in an era of leisure, and where computers and machinery have otherwise taken over a menial work. The player can have Charlie explore his city, talk freely with other citizens, get involved in gunfights, and include elemental stealth. In February 2017, Raw Fury announced it to be published for the title of Odd Tales. The game first reveal shown up during the Microsoft presentation at Electronic Entertainment Expo 2017 in June 2017 as Xbox One console launches exclusive alongside with Microsoft Windows version. In February 2017, the Raw Fury announces it to be published for title of Odd Tales. The game reveals now during the Microsoft presentation at Electronic Expo 2017. The game is anticipated to be released in quarter of 2018.
What's your plan?
Number 6. A Way Out. A Way Out is an upcoming action-adventure video game being developed by Hazelight and published by Electronic Arts. It is the second video game to be directed by Joseph Fares and Brothers. A Tale of Two Sons announced at E3 2017. The game will only be able to play in either online or local split-screen co-op between two players with no single-player mode. The game is currently scheduled for the release of PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows in the early of 2018. A Way Out is an action-adventure game played from third-person perspective. It is a significant design for the split-screen cooperative multiplayer, which means that the player with another player, though either local player or online play. In the game, the player controls Leo and Vincent, the two convicted prisoners who must break throughout the prison and stay on the run from authorities. As the story of both protagonists is told simultaneously, their progresses may not be synchronized, which may result in online player being able to control their character while another watching a cutscene. Player needs to cooperate with each other in order to progress, and each situation can be approached differently, with both characters taking different roles. For instance, during the prison escape scene, one player needs to distract the guards while other player needs to find a tool to aid their escape. These roles are not fixed, so Leo and Vincent can swap their roles in other playthroughs. Number 5. Darksiders 3. Darksiders 3 is an upcoming action-adventure video game being developed by Gunfire Games and published by THQ Nordic. It is a sequel to Darksiders 2 and a third entry in the Darksiders series. The game is scheduled to be released on 2018 for Microsoft Windows, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. Darksiders 3 is an action-adventure game. The player controls Fury, one of the four horsemen of an apocalypse. From the third-person perspective, Fury, a mage who is described as the most unpredictable and enigma for four horsemen, relies on whips and magic in combat. Darksiders 3 takes place parallel to the events of previous games in what is described as an diapedetic, war-torn planet Earth. It follows Prognostic Fury, Rider Backhorse, Sister Horseman, and Apocalypse to her quest to destroy 7 deadly sins. Adams has expressed interest in allowing Darksiders to come back home to its creators. On the April 22, 2013, Darksiders, along with Red Faction and MX vs. ATV, were purchased by Nordic Games and were finally transactioned to the THQ assets. On June 14, 2013, Nordic Games started in an interview with joystick fans not took for the Darksiders 3 before 2 years now.
Peggy 18.
Number 4. Metro Exodus. Metro Exodus is an upcoming first-person shooter video game developed by Arcaline Studios, 4A Games, and published by Deep Silver. It is the third installment in the Metro video game series based on Dmitry Glukowski novels. It is set to be the events of Metro Last Light and Metro 2033. Metro Exodus is a first-person shooter game and survivor horror and the stealthy elements. Set in the post-apocalyptic wasteland and the former Russian Federation, the player must cope with the new hazards and engage in combat against mutated creatures as well as hostile humans. The player wields an arsenal of handmade weaponry which can be customized through salvaging materials and crafting systems. The game features a mixture of linear levels and sandbox environment. It also includes a dynamic weather system, a day-night cycle, and environment that changes alongside with the season as the story progresses. Metro Exodus is set in 2036 on the post-apocalyptic Earth that has been devastated by a nuclear war over 20 years ago in 2013. The game continues the story from Metro Last Light Redemption ending. The player consumes the role of 26-year-old Tom, who flees in Metro and Moscow and sets off a continent-spanning journey with Spartan Ranger to the Far East. Antonomy first travels around the Volga rivers, not far from the Ural Mountains, to get a ride to locomotive known as Aurora that heads for the new life. The story takes place over the course of 1 year, starting in the harsh nuclear winter in the Metro. Another major character returning from previous game and the book Metro 2015 is Anna, who is now Artomion's wife. Metro Exodus is being developed by 4A Games. Development of game began in 2014 at 4A Game Studios in Malta and Kiev. Metro Exodus was announced on 11 June 2017 at Microsoft press conference during E3 2017. The game is scheduled to be released on Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in 2018. The Metro Exodus looks awesome, the graphical quality looks amazing, and we can craft many items including a crossbow in it. Its realistic weather states are amazing. It is going to release in the late of 2018. Number 3, Detroit Become Human. Detroit Become Human is an upcoming neo-noir thriller video game developed by Quantic Dreams and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment for the release of PlayStation only in quarter 1 or quarter 2 of 2018. The plot revolves around three androids: Kara, who escapes a factory she was made to explore her newfound sentience; Connor, whose job is to hunt down vigilant androids like Kara; and Marcus, who devotes himself releasing the androids from Survition. The character may survive or perish depending on choices that are made, which serve to shape and story as customized by the player. Detroit Became Human in the derived from Quantum Dream of 2012 tech demo. Kara Villarreal crew returned to the reprise and the title role. To search the setting, the developers visited Detroit, Michigan. Quantic Dream built a new engine to complement the game and cast hundreds of actors from Los Angeles, London, and Paris before commencing the process to shoot an animation. The script took director Kevin Go more than 2 years to write. The Detroit Become Human in an action-adventure game played from a third-person view, which is subjected to a set of controllable perspectives. There are multiple characters in the game who can die as the story continues without them, As a result, there is no game over message following a character's death. The story will be branched out depending on the choices are made. The player will be able to rewind a certain points in the story to reshape decision in the event of regret. On occasion of more information one collects within an allotted time, the greater the chances of success will be in deciding a course of action. Obtaining clues allows the player to reconstruct and replay the events that occurred or available in the set procedures like patrol routes. This can be done by highlighting the analysis the environment with augmented vision. Detroit Became Superhuman was announced by 2017 October at the Sony press conference during Paris Games Week. It appeared at the 2017 Electronic Arts Expo, showing trailers of additional playable characters and gameplay following E3 2017. The Cage confirmed that the game would be released in 2018, later specified as the first or second quarter therein. Detroit Became the Human was nominated for the 2016 Best of E3 Games Critics Award in the category of Best Original Games, but lost out to Horizon Zero Dawn. At the E3 2017, it won GameSpot Best of E3 awards and was nominated for the IGN's Best PlayStation 4 Game and Best Adventure Games awards. Hardcore Gamers Adventure Game Awards and Game Critics Awards Best Original Game and Best Action Adventure Games. Number 2, God of War. God of War will be the 8th installment in the God of War series, the 8th Chronicle and a sequel of 2010 God of War 3. The game will be soft reboot for the franchise and will be the series of world of Norse mythology. All previous games were based on Greek mythology. Series protagonist Kratos will return as a main character, and now he has named the son of Atreus. Kratos acts as a mentor and protector to his son and his master, the rage that has driven him so many far years away. The gameplay will be vastly different from the previous installments as it has to be rebuilt from the ground up. Although the previous installment's Ascensions introduced a multiplayer to the series, this new installment will be single player only. The game will feature elements similar to the role-playing games RPG, such as archery knowledge points as well as Spartan Rage timed ability during battle. This ability appears to be the new take of the Rage ability from the previous installments. There will also be a crafting resources for the player to find. The new installment features and a third-person over and shoulder-free camera, the departure from the previous installment which will be featured as a third person. Fixed cinematic camera exception of 2007 2D side-scroll Betrayal. A major change is the Kratos will no longer use his signature double chain blades as he lost these in the conclusion of God of War 3. Instead, he will be using a magical battle axe which will be infusing with the elemental abilities as thrown at enemies. The E3 2016 and 2017 trailers showed that the axe can be infused in ice, to which Kratos can hurl at an enemy and the magical summon back to its hand. Kratos will be able to charge the axe and let out a burst of energy that will damage nearby enemies. The game director Carl Barlog said that the axe is a deep-rooted history that connection with the characters. It is connected to both the son and his mother. Another new weapon that Kratos will utilize is a shield. When not in use, it folds up and appears like an armor on Kratos' left hand forearm. When summoned, the shield can now be offensively and defensively. Kratos will now utilize hand-in-hand combats and features original introduction to Ascensions. It will be confirmed that the game would release in early of 2018.
Are you gonna do it? You said I was cursed. think I'm weak because I'm not like you.
You do not know everything, boy.
No. But at least I know the truth now.
By the way, guys, this is my list for upcoming games of 2018 as my order. So what do you think will be the ranking of these games? Comment below your ranking for these games and also let me know what will be the top 1 ranking.
Long way from home, aren't you? And here I thought your kind was supposed to be so enlightened, so much better than us.
The gods of these realms don't take kindly to outsiders, trust me. When they find you, and they will, they'll make things difficult.
Wait here. I will handle this.
And now, the number 1 game, Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones is an upcoming action video game developed by Ubisoft Singapore and published by Ubisoft for the release of Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in the quarter 3 or quarter 4 of 2018. The game revolves around the piracy of naval warfare. The Skull and Bones is a tactical action game set in an open world and played with the third-person perspective. Players can control a customized pirate ship and may choose to sail the Indian Oceans by themselves and set off on single-player campaign, or accumulate up with the other fly pairs to allies or engage in combat with the disputed waters. Wind positioning can be accessed to gain the advantage in battles. Players may collect additional ships throughout the game as slopes of war, frigates and bargonites, whose weapon includes mortars, broadside cannons and rockets. The ship can be charged into the brute force and boarded. The rate of inflicted damage is guarded by the health bar. A core component is the multiplayer mode Loot Hunt, where 2 groups of players can challenge in the treasure hunting for further accumulation in their riches. Each given ship crow's nest is scalable for the use as a lookout point, and spyglasses can be availed as well. Microtransactions will be an added feature in the game. Skull and Bone is first video game led and developed by Ubisoft Singapore, which is based on concept of naval battles of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Ubisoft Singapore are allowing players to aid in the fine-tuning of its live services aspects with the community program, the Keepers of the Code. The Skull and Bone was revealed by Ubisoft press conference at the Electronic Entertainment Expo 2017. It was confirmed for Ubisoft Windows, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One with all the enchantments for PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One X, and will be released in quarter 3 or quarter 4 of 2018. Following E3 2017, Skull and Bone was nominated for the Game Critics Awards, Best Original Game and Best Online Multiplayer Awards. So these are my games. What do you think your game ranking will be? Comment in the below section and also don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you guys.